Hello and welcome to the very first episode on this channel. I'm Stonk McStonk, and I'm going to be talking about all different types of investments and ways to make money, different avenues, whether that be in precious metals like silver and gold, certain stocks that might be good to invest in either short term or long term, while also teaching the importance of money and what is money and what is fiat currency compared to silver, compared to Bitcoin, compared to all this stuff. But in the very first episode, I just want to kind of go over real basic fundamentals of stacking. So stacking is the term used if you purchase silver and gold precious metals. So I want to go over the different types of silver in particular that you can acquire when hedging against inflation with silver. And in future episodes, we'll talk about what inflation is, why it's bad, and why you want to have in your portfolio some amount of silver and gold to hedge against that, because they've never been worth zero, and they're always going, especially silver being drastically undervalued right now. It should be 1/8 the price of gold, and at the moment it's 1/64 the price of gold. You should be investing in silver heavily. Crypto needs silver to mine, to trade, to sell. Your phones need silver, your computers need silver, your cars need silver. Silver is the best conductor of electricity in the world. So there's going to be a massive industry shortage for it and a high demand from industry from it. It's going to drive the cost up. And I started investing about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and started stacking. And around when silver was around $16 to $21 an ounce, it varied. $16 to $21, I started buying a lot of my stuff, and today it just broke over $28 an ounce, $28.55. So I'm already up several thousands of dollars in just a year's time. So what the goal is to, if you're buying silver, before I go into the different types you can buy, and I'm going to show them to you here on this camera, you need to know that this is the long man's game. You are not in this for a pump dump. You are not in this for a get-rich-quick scheme. Even though I have made a couple $1,000s in a year, what you're really looking to do is say, in the next 10 years, I'm going to spend 1 year's salary on silver and gold. So I'm going to, let's say I make $70,000 a year. I'm going to, over the next 10 years, put $70,000 worth into precious metal, so about $7,000 a year into this, so that when right now I'm in my early 30s, when I hit 60, 70 years old and and I'm retiring and I'm done working, that 1 year salary of $70,000 in the market now, the silver will sell for 10 years salary and sell for $700,000 when you sell it back at the market. Good thing about the market is there's always a demand for it. Pawn shops will buy it, coin dealers will buy it, and bullion dealers, actual online bullion dealers, really good ones: SD Bullion, JM Bullion, Silver Gold Bull, APMEX. These are distributors with millions and millions and millions of dollars to spend and to buy, and they will buy the silver at spot price. Sometimes they'll buy over spot price, depending on what it is. Sometimes they'll buy under spot price, and we'll give those examples as to which ones they would and which ones they wouldn't. So the very first set of silver that I want to introduce, the one I think you should invest the most heavily in, would be these ones here. It might be hard. I apologize. I'll get a better camera over the course of time here. But these are actual currencies backed by governments. I'm bringing only a couple out that I have. There's a safe back home with tons of these, but I just want to show you examples of them. So we have American Silver Eagle. This is the American. Each one of these is 1 troy ounce. There's the Australian Kangaroo from the Perth Mint, Austrian Harmonics, the Canadian Maple Leaf, the Royal Britannia, the Panda, the Chinese Panda. All are 1 ounce of silver. These are government minted coins, government issued silver coins, so the governments recognize them. So for any reason that paper money, which, by the way, quick little note, paper money is just a promissory note. It's just a promise to pay you in actual physical silver and gold when you go to collect. But when you have a money machine that just prints out left and right, that promissory note doesn't have much value anymore. There's no real rarity to it. These have a finite amount. There's a finite amount of silver in the world. That's it. A fun fact, if every single American citizen owned 10 ounces of silver, that's it. Game over. There is no more silver in the world. So it's, when you think about it in those aspects, it really is not that much. If every single American citizen owned 10 ounces, it's doable, I think. But it would dry up the silver market immediately. But there's finite amounts of each of these printed. And so always getting your hands on these are always good in the event that you need to actually, they're easier to barter with. Coin shops are happier to buy them back from you at market price because they're easier to flip and sell. They actually will pay over spot price for some of these because they charge, anytime you buy silver, there's a premium. So if this is, for example, when I bought this, I bought it for, silver was $16 an ounce, and the store charged me like $21 because they have to make a profit, so they charge a little bit over spot price. But now the Silver Eagles are going for $43, $44, so I definitely over double my money on the American Silver Eagles. The one cool thing about the Canadian Maple Leafs is that this is the only one that has quadruple 9 fine silver. All of them are 999 purity of silver, which basically just means literally pure silver. But the Canadian Maple, the Canadian Mint, goes through one extra refinery process, which allows it to give it a 4th 9, which means it just is like the purest silver of the silver. But they're all great. These are the ones I would highly recommend starting to build tubes of and get lots of, because again, they're easier to barter with. They're easy to move. If I were to go to any country in the world and show them this, they would see the number 1 for troy ounce, and they would see the 999, and they would know that's silver, and it would be used to be able to purchase and exchange, barter, good service with anything. In the event of some crazy economic crisis, you have physical silver to actually buy things with. And so it's funny, the American Silver Eagle actually says, $1 on the back. And now it's not worth $1. In actual silver, it's worth $28.55. That's the current market price of silver. What that means is, when they say this is worth $1 American dollar, it is not the same as a paper fiat dollar. It's to represent ideally what a dollar should be. Really, $1 should buy you $20 worth of goods and services. So back in one of the coins we're going to show you is called junk silver. These are coins that were quarters, half dollars, dimes. These were things that were made before 1964. And if you paid somebody, minimum wage was $1.50, and you paid someone $1.50 in today in pure silver coin, that works out being about $20 an hour. So if you adjust for inflation, this $1 is actually worth closer to the market price of what real silver should be. So that's the first thing, coins. The second thing, my personal favorite, give me a second here to grab a couple of them because I have varying sizes, would be silver bars. So there's varying amounts and varying sizes. Those ones are 10-ounce bars. This is a 5-ounce bar. These are 1-ounce silver bars. I love silver bars. They look cool. They feel cool in your hand. Just to hold, grip a big brick bullion of pure silver is fantastic. I want to get 20-ounce bars, especially the Scottsdale Mint has a great 20-ounce bar. I want to get a kilo. I want to eventually work my way up to the bigger bars. These ones will, there's two reasons. There's pros and cons to buying the bar. The pro to buying the bar is that it's a lower premium. So if I were, if this is 1 ounce of a 1 ounce, these are going to be about the same price. A 1 ounce bar and a 1 ounce coin. Well, that specific coin is a little different, but 1 ounce is 1 ounce. I could buy 10 of these or 1 of these. if they're going to charge me $5 on top of every ounce on the 1 ounce one, if I buy it in bulk, just like if you go to BJ's and you buy something in bulk, it's going to be cheaper. They're going to charge me maybe $2.50 or $3 over spot price per ounce. So by buying in bulk, yeah, I'm paying a lot more money up front, but I'm paying less of a premium. I'm wasting less money. It's almost like a tax. I don't have to pay as much in tax. And put more money, less. I can put less money in the dealer's pocket essentially. If you buy in the big bulk, the big bars like these. So those are silver bars. There's two other types of silver bars I just want to highlight to you in case you want to get into them. These are also 1 ounce bars, but this is there's certain limited runs of certain ones. This particular one it might be hard to see. I apologize for the lighting. Una and the Lion, made by the Royal Mint. So certain mints carry a little weight to them. It's kind of like buying a BMW or a Lexus. Those cars carry a slightly higher price tag because of the quality of the car. And so same thing, quality of the silver and the rarity of the art. So the art might have been done by a famous artist that they commissioned for it, or they only printed a finite amount. For example, the Una and the Lions, I think it's only 35,000. I could be mistaken. I think it's 35,000, maybe it's 350,000, but it's one of those two numbers. There's a finite amount of these in the world. So whereas the normal silver bars are going for $30 to $33, the Una and the Lions I've seen them going for as high as $50 now an ounce. Just because the market's drying up, people are buying them, and there's only a finite amount. The mint's not going to make any more after that. So that's more the collectability aspect. I bought these cheap. I got lucky because now the market's drying up. They spiked up really high. So I got very lucky. The other type of bar that you can buy are these. They're still 1 ounce, but they're hand poured. They're a little more crude. Kind of look kind of like these a little bit. But compared to the nice fine silver solid bars, these are hand poured. They're usually from secondary market, not from any major mint. And so they carry a slightly higher premium, but I just like to have a little bit of diversity in my collection because I want to appeal to all sellers. If I decide to sell this to a particular coin dealer, bullion dealer, or people in the secondary market, actual other individuals that might prefer actual hand poured bars over like a stock APMX silver bar, they might like the actual more crude looking pure silver. So I like to have a couple of these in my collection. So that's coins, and number 2 is bars. We're going to go into the third category now, which are called rounds. They're not coins. They're more like bars. That's actually the best way to put them. They're literally silver bars, except they're not rectangular in shape. They are round in shape. So that's why they're called rounds. They're not actually coins. They're not currency. They're not worth like the $1 or the $2 maple leaf or the $5 or the $1 Australian kangaroo. Like, they're not recognized by government, essentially. They're not a government currency. These are made by just mints. Like, this is made by Sunshine Mint. This is made by OPM Metals, APMX. One of the more popular ones are the Buffalo Heads, the Buffalo Head rounds. This was actually just a brand new release. I actually just got this today. It's I love it. It's Napoleon. You can't really see it, but it's an angel over a gravestone, and on the gravestone is the letter N with a reef for Napoleon. Napoleon's grave is surrounded by, I believe it's a dozen angels. So this is a commemorative pure silver coin of Napoleon's grave. I just got this today, actually. But they're rounds. They're not worth anything. They're literally worth their weight in silver. If you were to sell them at spot price or melt price. And that's another thing. In the future video, I'll go over the difference between spot price and melt price and why those matter and why those numbers are, how to calculate those numbers. You can always find the spot price online. You can look that up. And usually melt price matches the same, but there's certain elements and aspects that adjust those numbers so they're not always exactly the same. So we have silver coins, silver bars, silver rounds, which are just literally silver bars except round, not rectangular. The other thing, this was another one. Another one of the coins that's recognized actual currency, Liberty Morgans, peace dollars, things like that. I forgot that one. That one hit away from me. The next one, these lovely tubes. This is called constitutional silver. Now I advise having literally everything I've shown you. Have it in your portfolio. Have a mixture, because it's just good to have. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So if you go to a coin shop or a pawn shop, or any bullion dealer online, and you look for constitutional silver, they might also call it junk silver. So now you get the history lesson. 1964 and before, all coins were made of 90% pure silver. That is not the case today. Now there's almost zero. There's actually 0% silver. It's like zinc and copper and other things mixed in. These are 90% silver. So when you feel them, they feel heavier. They feel grittier. It's very strange because you don't really notice it until until you compare it to another regular coin. If you go to a shop and buy junk silver, they're going to charge, I've seen the lowest be 19 times face value. I've seen the highest like 25, 26, and that's gross. You don't want to buy 25, 26. The Goldilocks range is if a dealer says 20 to 22, I'll buy the junk silver, which means if a dealer is selling a quarter at 20 times face value, that means it's $5. I'm paying $5 for this one coin, but it feels weird to give him a $5 bill and get back a quarter, but it is literally the value of silver at that point. It's just under spot price, and it's you're just buying pure silver at that point. So it's not pure, 90%, close enough. Fun fact: it might look a little weird, but because like, oh, that's not a Kennedy, it's Franklin, and then these are these are called walking liberties. These are all 50-cent pieces. It's just that before Kennedy's art, it was Benjamin Franklin, and before Benjamin Franklin, it was this. But they're still all 50-cent pieces, and they're all going to be the same. So whether you get a 1964 normal one that you're kind of used to, or you go back further and further, the price doesn't change. They're going to charge 20 to 22 times face value on all of them because they're worth the same in silver weight. Then the same thing in dimes. You're going to get the normal dimes you have, plus you might find Mercury dimes. This was just the artwork that was on before. Is that Delano Roosevelt? Is that FDR on there? That's bad. It's bad. I don't know who's on the dime. So you get Mercury dimes as well, but they're still going to charge the same price as the other dimes. In case you want to know, it takes 3 50-cent pieces to make 1 troy ounce. It takes 6 quarters to make 1 troy ounce, and it takes 14 dimes to make 1 troy ounce. So if you ever actually want to know how many ounces you have in junk silver, it's a quick way to do the math. 3, 6, 14. That's the quickest way to do it. So let's get this out of the way. We have a couple left. Fractionals. These are things that are 1/4 an ounce, 1/10 an ounce, 1/2 ounce of silver. I just have a couple of them. Normally, I throw them in, like if it's normally if you're buying silver online from a dealer and it's like $199 for free shipping, and you're at like $192 and you're like $7 away. Yeah, I just throw in a couple fractionals because they're $3 to $4 a piece, and it's still pure silver. It's just 1/4, 1/10. 1/2, whatever you decide to get, and they don't break the bank. They're super cheap. Like these are like $3, maybe $4 a piece. So you can always get fractionals as well. The last two I'm gonna go over with you. We had the American Silver Eagle here that I showed you. The other thing you can get into is called numismatics. Numismatics is the hobby of collecting rare and graded coins. I'm not big into the rare or graded coins. I want pure silver. I want pure silver that I can sit on, for next 20 years and have it grow and appreciate in value. I'm not too concerned about grading my stuff and extracting extra value out of that. So if this coin is going right now for $40, this graded one will go for like 60, and a near mint one will go for like 80. So these are broad brush strokes, but it increases in value. The highest grade you can get is an MS70. Oh, it's backwards on my camera. I'm just seeing that. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's going to upload that way. But MS70 is the highest grade a coin can get. It means a near perfect strike. Not near perfect, a actual perfect strike. It means that usually no human even interacted with it. Like a claw machine came, picked it up, and put it in and encapsulated it. Like no human oils have touched it. No, when we talk, spit comes out. No humans talked around it, breathed around it. It is literally MS-70 is literally perfect. MS-69 means damn near perfect. It means one person owned it, or maybe a person handled it. But other than that, it's pretty damn near perfect. Maybe there's a small, slight little blemish somewhere through the striking process that occurred to it. Maybe no humans touched it. But MS-69s and MS-70s, if you are going to get into the collector part of it, 70 and 69s are the ones you want to get. It scales down after that, 68, 64, so it keeps going down. Yeah, I'm not into finding old Roman coins. I'm not into finding old Egyptian coin. It's a cool hobby. If I ever came across one in some crazy collection, neat. But it's not my end goal game of where I want to extract my value out of my silver. I have one, again, in my collection because I want some diversity in the event that I want to liquidate my stuff and be able to appeal to multiple of buyers. The last two things I'm going to show you guys. That's silver. That's sterling silver. These were found at a tag sale for $3 for this. So it was like $1. Yeah, they charged me $1 a piece. And all it takes is just turning it over and seeing that sterling brand and staple and maker's mark, and you have all of a sudden 2.5 ounces worth of silver here, and that's $60. That's $60 worth of some silver that you got for $3. So in terms of, I happen to have a chance to. There are some bullion dealers that sell it. There's some coin shops and pawn shops that sell it because they realize what they have. I just got lucky at some tag sales. And the thing about sterling silver is actually there's more silver in sterling than there is in the junk silver. Junk silver has 90% silver. Sterling has 92.5% silver. So it's actually more of a silver content. So if you go to sell this to a place that's going to melt the silver down, because they can melt the silver down and then make it into a bar. Like you can do that. They're going to honor the melt price at being 92.5% silver. So it's actually you're getting more silver out of it. Again, I don't buy a lot of it. This is the only sterling silver I own, and I happen to chance upon it. But there's some people that really go hard into the sterling silver. They love the brand. They love to either use it in their home, or they also like to just collect it and have it be part of their investment. Just a neat thing to diversify in. So sterling silver. And the final thing, gold bars. You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. Gold is also very good in against hedging against inflation. The premiums are way lower. If the Canadian maple leaf is $28 and they're charging me $34 for it, that I'm paying $6-7. I'm paying 30% premium, 30 sometimes 40% of a premium on this on silver, whereas gold is not that. Because gold is so much more expensive, it's around $1,800 an ounce. The premiums are much lower, so you can buy gold for just over near spot price, because the sellers are making so much money on it anyway, and they acquired the gold when the market wasn't $1,800. They acquired the gold when it was $1,000, so they're already making the profit. They're already making that $800 profit because it went up in value since they've had it. So the premium they need to charge is a lot less. So I tell people do either 80-20, 80% silver, 20% in gold, or do 85-15. But you definitely want to have some amount of gold. These are small. These are just half-gram bars. But they still, I think half-gram is maybe, I think it's like $68 when I bought it, and I think the premium was like $75. So I think they charged me like $8 on top of it. It wasn't much. Sure, much better than the silver premium. For $68 in silver, they would have charged you like $90 for the coin. So because of the premium. So gold, much less premium, but far more expensive to get into. So yeah, that's it. Those are it. One more time, actual, government-backed coins like the Maple Leaf and the Britannia. The next, silver bars. After that, silver rounds, which are just silver bars except round. Next, junk silver. After that, if you want to get into the actual grading and finding rare coins, numismatics. sterling silver being the last thing you can invest in, and then gold. There also is platinum. You can invest in platinum. Is also pretty expensive. Platinum's around $1,200 an ounce. I don't own any platinum. I'm not familiar with the market enough, but I have been following the silver market very closely, very heavily. And so, yeah, I greatly appreciate you watching this video and kind of getting an introduction that if you're looking into stacking and starting silver, that these are the things that you should go to a coin shop or go to a bullion dealer online and ask for these things. And so now you have a kind of general idea of the 4 or 5 big main things that you should have in your safe or in your portfolio. Last thing I'm going to say before I end this video is in terms of insuring this, it's slightly difficult. A lot of insurance companies don't touch silver and bullion. They will give you a limit for jewelry, around $2,500 for jewelry. But that's not enough. There's more than $2,500 here on this couch or on this bed right now. So it's hard. I happen to inventory and spreadsheet everything that I own. But insurance companies don't often touch this stuff in the event. If it's in a safe, luckily those safes are fireproof and waterproof, so they can be saved. But if you're looking to insure your silver or your gold, it's rather difficult. The only places that do it are online distributors. Like I know Silver Gold Bull you can send your silver to them. They will place it in their vaults, and then they're liable for it. And it's just you don't have it on hand anymore, but it at least is protected and insured in case something were to happen. They have it. You can withdraw it at any time. Oh, the last thing. I'm sorry. There's one other way you can invest in silver, and that is through a silver trust. I recommend PSLV. It's a physical silver trust. If you buy 3 shares, right now it's around $10 a share. If you bought 3 shares of it, that's actually buying 1 physical ounce of silver in their vaults, and it's yours. And if silver price goes up, then that 1 ounce that you bought goes up in value. In the future video, I'll explain why you should stay away from SLV. They're pretty dirty with what they're doing in terms of market manipulation with JP Morgan, which is a bank. I don't mean to sound like a tinfoil hat guy, but there's just a lot of evidence for it. So I would go with PSLV. You can get it through Webull. If you use Webull, the stock trading app, PSLV is on Webull, and you can buy physical silver in a trust through them. It's actually gone up quite a bit, so I would definitely, if you want to do that and don't want to have the physical stuff on hand, you're worried about it, you can actually own silver. It's just in PSLV's vault, which is another decent safe bet. So yeah, if you like this video, please comment. If you have any questions, please comment. I'll try and answer them. I'm going to be making more videos. I'll try and make one a week where we discuss more investments, more stocks, more things, more silver, and as I perfect this, I'll figure out the perfect length for these videos, and what you guys want to do and what you guys like and what you guys didn't like. So yeah, thank you. Click subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video.